Hey everyone, this is Adrienne, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about your intuition and how your intuition is a gift. So we have like 5 major energy centers that help to register our intuition, and one is your clairsentient knowing, a sense of higher knowing, and you sometimes often just know things without knowing how you know it. It's like it just downloads and boom, the information is there. Another version would be coming from your sixth chakra, and that would be clairvoyance. And clairvoyance is when you have the gift of seeing perfection, truth in other people, the ability to see into the future, maybe have very vivid dreams, be highly creative. So that's really more along the lines of the clairvoyance. Sometimes you can also see energy, see patterns. Information might even run like a ticker tape across the front when you're reading things. Clear audio is when you're more hearing the information, and that can sometimes be brought in a lot of times with the clairsentient. It comes in and then all of a sudden it's almost like a knowingness, right? But when you hear it, it's like you literally might hear music, and you might hear what's going on in a person's voice and what's actually happening at a deeper level. You might hear voices of like angels, or it's more of a communicatory type gift. There is also the heart's wisdom, and with the heart's wisdom, you're more tuning into the feeling tone, sometimes the emotions, right? But also the feeling tone of another person and what's going on with their feelings at that deeper level. Like, in other words, they might say they're fine, but really you can tell they might be sad or upset, or something else is going on, but it's a feeling tone that you're picking up on something. And then the solar plexus area really registers the energy around being your body's wisdom, your body's intuition. And with the body intuition, you might get goosebumps, you might get that sick feeling in the pit of your stomach when you know something isn't right. Sometimes that can also show up like an anxiety at times when your energy field is being overwhelmed by something. You're taking on too much of something. And you might know if you should go left or right and have a good sense of direction, or which herbs you should eat if you are out in the wild, or which, things like that. So the body's wisdom really helps you to kind of navigate the terrain of life on that level. So you have these 5 different types of intuition, and we're really born with all 5 of them. But what happens is that based on, maybe your deeper soul gifts and soul attributes that you have and what your soul blueprint is, you might lean more towards one than another. And that particular intuition will be a little bit more developed. And you can have more than one as well that's developed. But for a lot of people, you'll find that there's one that's a little bit more. And so you can kind of think about that, just knowing the 5 different types of intuition that you have. But one of the main reasons I find that intuition is so important to really develop and to learn how to trust yourself with it, like figure out, as you go through all 5, which one do I tend to be a little more gifted in? Because you just have to start knowing that we're all born with intuition. So if you know you have intuition, just give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Which one do you think that you're registering with the most, that you just notice that's more developed in you? Then you want to start practicing trusting it. And so I would start with little things like, what should I eat for lunch? Should I go to this movie or that movie? Should I call this person at this particular time or not? Should I take this job or not? Should I move here or not? So I would start following your intuition with the little things first, and learning how to redevelop that trust. Because what happens is that as you start to develop a trust in your own intuition, you're really learning how to listen to your soul, your essence self, your true self, your higher self, your higher presence, that spirit energy that flows through you. Because in the physical world, we're here kind of navigating almost as if literally like we were blind, because the world's kind of based on illusion. And so when you go inward and you breathe, doing rhythmic breathing, I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out, and just do 3 to 5 breaths. It really doesn't take very long. 3 to 5 breaths, and just turn your attention inward and just let go of everything in the external world. you focus on that particular chakra where you feel like you have a tendency to get information, and you just develop it more. So if it's clairsentient, you just do 3 to 5 rhythmic breaths and you focus on more of your crown chakra. If it's more your heart's wisdom, you do 3 to 5 breaths and you start breathing in and out of the heart center. And you make like as you're breathing with it consciously and you're putting your attention on it, it allows you to start to come back into rhythm and balance with it. So at that point, what happens is that if you'll start to actually trust it, this is the really best thing about intuition, is you're empowering yourself and you are calling your power back, because oftentimes when we don't trust our own intuition, we're trusting something in the external world to guide us, other people, other people's opinions, projections, and chances are they may not have really taken the time to really develop themselves and their intuition either. They're not necessarily all plugged in and connecting. They just might be giving you a reference point from past issues that they've had, or bad experiences, or childhood issues, or an emotional reaction. You ask them the next day and they're like, oh no, I totally think you should do it. So it's very empowering to start trusting your intuition, and the more powerful you kind of feel on that internal level of being able to trust yourself, you're going to not only make better decisions, but the more you listen internally and call your power back from the external world, you're going to start realizing how you really feel about something and what your thoughts really are about something. And as that starts to grow, you're going to start realizing you may not be the person you thought you were. You might have a whole different opinion about life or way of moving through life that's different than you've ever really given yourself permission for. And then as that develops and you start to know yourself, know thyself, right? The next thing that will happen is that you'll start to, it's like remembering your soul destiny, because the essence of who you are and what you truly wanted to fulfill in this lifetime, for some people it's having a family, for some people it's a cause they wanted to create or develop, for some people it's, you know, a work of art or something they would create. But when you start trusting your intuition, you start figuring out how you really feel and what you really think and what's true for you, you also start to ignite a remembrance inside of you of your own soul blueprint, your life path, life purpose. And then you can actually start building into trusting how to be in universal flow with how to manifest the higher vision of your life. And so it's a really neat thing to start practicing. And people just take intuition a lot for granted. They're not really realizing that if they will start with this very basic aspect of themselves, a basic part of who we are, that you end up, it's a life skill that if you'll start building it, it is literally one of the fundamental pieces for you to know yourself, to feel empowered in your own life, to be able to be unconditionally loving and be honest with yourself, and therefore unconditionally loving and honest with others. And then allowing spirit in your own tribe of light to communicate with you, to really help you know which path to go in that your soul came in to experience this lifetime. So I really hope you practice with your intuition. And if you wanted to develop that more, I'm happy for you to join me on the My World Magic membership. We work every week on Wednesdays, helping to do that. The calls are always recorded as well. It's $39. It's super affordable for the whole month, but it's a great way to start practicing and learning how to navigate that inner thing. So that's a good resource. And like I said, just practicing with little things during the day, like what should I eat for lunch? What's my body wisdom? What's my heart wisdom? What's my higher self? And just really moving forward with that. So hope you enjoy practicing that. And that is my how-to on how to develop your intuition, and the reasons and the purpose for it being much more extraordinary than what you could ever have imagined. All right, bye-bye.